Hello guys, it's on Cloud9 here, and in this video we'll be turning mobile app samples into a real song. Have you ever heard of the app Groovepad? Well, I've chosen 6 samples from the Ocean View pack by Andy Brookes, and using those samples I will turn them into an actual house song. However, there are a few rules for this challenge. 1. I have to use each of the samples in the song at least once. And 2. I have to build a section of the song around one of the Ocean View samples. Got that? Well, let's go. Alright, so we're in our project right now and we already have the samples loaded in. I already played around with them and I can tell you they're awesome. We got some guitar, we got some bass, the whole thing, you know? Alright, let's listen to all of them first. Sheesh, that's crazy. That's some good guitar right there. Love it. Alright, guitar number 2. Ooh. That's pretty harmonic, I have to say. Alright, let's go with bass 1. That sounds wonderful. We can definitely make something great out of that. Alright, now lead 1. Alright, that sounds delicious, man. It's some awesome pluck, and you know I love that. Alright, pad 1. Oh, some nice vocals there too. Alright, that's really nice. Really nice. Really relaxing too, just like the ocean. Alright, pad 2. Alright, that's epic as well. Alright, using these, we're going to start on creating our song. Alright, let's go. So we're going to start off by creating an intro. Let's just grab all these samples right here. And let's move them to the side. I think what we'll mainly be working with for this one is the guitar. So, right, so here's how they sound like right now. Alright, they sound awesome together, you know? Alright, now here's what I'm planning to do. Let's have an automation with the harmonic guitar, that's what I'm going to call it, so that like gradually fades in. Right. Let's have it start at that. I think that's a good amount. Alright, so let's hear how that sounds. Alright, that sounds great. Let's see if we can do a little more with it. How about we drag it over a little so that the intro seems more gradual. That's already great, you know? Alright, now let's see what else we can do. Let's just first move these aside because we're just going to be working with 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's just drag these to the side. Alright. Now let's make these tracks repeat. That's stupid. I wouldn't want that appearing. Alright, now I think we're going to get ourselves a drum pad, and what we're going to do with that is we're going to add a few hats. These hats are just meant to add excitement to the song, like you're going to be excited to hear what's coming up. Alright. So let's saturate them a little. Let's get ourselves some saturation. Down here. Alright, let's add our vocal enhancer. Mode warm. Do we want that? Let's go modern. Oh, put it down to 25%. Now, mind you, I'm not exactly a pro with making songs of BandLab. I mean, I have made some before, but I'm just I think I'm a beginner at adding these effects to the song, but I'm learning, you know? It's part of the learning process. Okay, we obviously don't want that appearing, so let's just move them to the side a little. And let's see what we could do to help out with the hats. Okay, let's see. Alright, now let's have it fade in a little, just like we did with the guitar down here. Well, that's the vocal enhancer. We just gotta keep it at 20. We'll keep it at 26%. Alright, let's go to volume. Drag it down here. Now, actually, round up here. And then we'll drag it up to 8.7 decibels. Nice. Well, I think what we could also do, we can add the bass a little, but it'll only be very, very subtle. We'll add a little dot here so that when we drag this down here, it'll be more of a gradual change. Alright, there we go. I think that's good for now. Yeah, great work on Cloud9. Alright, so guys, there are a few things I did in this project that we have to catch up on. So, started off on a little off drop after the intro. It sounds like this. Sounds good so far. And what I also did is I changed the drum pad from EDM to 808. So it's going to give us some punchy drums that we're going to want for this tropical feeling house tune. You probably noticed something I did in the intro right here, and you're probably asking, hey, on Cloud9, what's that? Well, if I want it to be a little more of a, I added these here because I added these here because I wanted to hint at the lead that's eventually going to appear in the off drop. So here's how it sounds like. And I feel like we should add one more, the fourth beat of 8. And then there's one more thing we gotta do too, to make the change feel, to make the transition smooth, I guess you could call it. There it is, that's what we want. And let's see if it lines up. Alright, cool. Let's see how that sounds like. And we're gonna have to drag these because we're not using them yet. Now here's what I'm also gonna do for here so that the transition feels more gradual and feels more smooth. So we're gonna chop this up with the letter S. Add this over here. Let's go to the editor down here. Let's just choose it. And now let's go with pretty small speed. Now we gotta do 0.5. Alright, there we go. Let's hear what that sounds like now. I think one more thing we can do here is make it start out with a crash drum. Now the crash drum makes the, like when you're transitioning here, a crash drum will make it even more exciting, I'd call it. Alright, and let's saturate this whoosh a little after we turn down the volume. Alright, add effect, saturation, we'll go down here, and decrease it down to 25%. We're getting somewhere, guys. I see the potential in this one, man. Let's move these onto the side, but we're also going to do something a little with this bass right here. Alright. We're going to copy and paste the bass right here because it has a few notes which are going to enhance the song. I like cursing like that. Damn, that sounds awesome. This is sure going to be the hit for your dance parties, I can tell. Well, first thing we gotta do, I think we're gonna add a little drama to the build-up by adding a piano. Alright, let's add the piano. Do we want studio grand or another type of piano? How about maybe the classic grand piano? Yeah, that'll definitely work. Now off camera, I did this little thing with a bass where we added these notes. Let's hear what they sound like. Not like that. Let's hear how they sound like with the drums. That sounds so good for some reason, man. Alright, so we're gonna make the piano play the exact same notes as the bass. Alright. And so what I was planning to do is add one of the pads, a few of the pads right there, along with the notes. Alright, so let's copy paste this one right here. Let's have this repeat. Alright, let's see what we have now. Oh, come on, don't do it. Do not be stubborn like the video once was to me. Stop? You know the meaning of stop? Alright, let's cut it, because that's the only thing that's going to work. And now let's see. You know, you gotta make this fade more into the background, because like this is the backbone of these two instruments. Okay, we need the whoosh again. Let's just copy paste that right there. And we'll move this. Okay, let's add a little automation because we're going to make this a bit more prominent in the section so that the entire song is not that repetitive with the pads. Because we're just right here, and if you play one instrument for too long, it's going to get stale throughout the song. This is me cue right after we change the instrument type. Mid sweep, let's just put it at that. I'm not sure what that does, but hopefully that helps with the song. Alright, and then here we'll have them split up like a snare on every beat. All 4 beats in one of these measures. Alright, now let's have a now let's make it gradually come up. Oh, there we go. Let's hear how that sounds. I think we should cut this. Yeah, there we go. Wait, that's the graphic EQ. What is my problem, man? I just can't. No, not the graphic EQ. Why does BandLab have to do me like this, man? Alright, there. Let's have them go up here. That's a good amount. All right. But we're gonna need something a bit more exciting here, so we'll do some with the bass. Oh, I know what we could do. We're just going to put these an octave higher to make this a bit more exciting. Alright, let's move it up an octave. We're just gonna have to gather these notes. Is that high enough? Oh yes, I think that sounds great already. Now let's just do an automation. Alright, that's nice. We've done it. Actually, no, have we done it? No, we have not. I think we can do a little bit of with the riser. I believe that's possible. Let's see if we have that in samples. Move this. No, don't eliminate the entire thing. It's the constant problem with BandLab, you know? It just doesn't do it. Okay, don't tell me we're gonna have even more problems. Alright, that's a great build-up so far. I like it.
Alright, hey guys, so I've been making the drop off camera, and as you can see, it's December 31st. Like, I'm pretty sure the previous footage was December 25th, but So, yeah, as I said, I've been making the drop off camera, and look what I've done here. Alright, so we got the drum samples right here. They're the same type as the drums we used earlier, except what we have here is we just have kicks and a few closed hats, and they sound like this. Hey, why don't you? So yeah, some pretty punchy, groovy kicks. Now, how about these ones? So these are some EDM drums that I've used, and I used a dual octaver. I did some alterations for the low octave, sub octave, and the mix, and now it sounds like this. Yeah, EDM drums. And alright, that's wonderful. So we've built it off these pads right here, and I've made a bass line using bass we used earlier over here. We also have the bass sample used above. And so now for the melody. All we have for the melody is this down here, the little red instrument. And so the synth we used here is the Harris Wobble synth. We used some sidechain, which is named the pumper. We did some to the harmonics and the threshold. And I should probably get rid of the EQ since I did nothing with it. So now the melody, it sounds like this. Alright, yeah, the melody is really reminiscent of the beach, like some beach dance party, and that's exactly the vibe I was looking for with these ocean samples, like looking for something tropical too. So now for the second half of the drop over here, I increased the pitch, like I put all the notes an octave higher. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure like we put the notes an octave higher as variation so that the listener doesn't get bored. I'm pretty sure you won't get bored while listening to this, huh? Alright, so here's what the entire drop sounds like. to the guitar right here. Alright, so what I think I'm also going to do here is we're going to add another part of the drop. So let's go ahead and quickly copy and paste the drums. Oh no, not again. Just gotta keep it at 48 right now. Good, it stayed. Now let's get the guitar sample we used at the beginning of the song, and we'll copy paste it over there. We'll just eliminate the crossfade. And now we'll also get this guitar back, because these two samples, they go hand in hand with each other. Let me show you. Alright, now that we finally got that taken care of, let's listen to this next part of the drop. Alright, that's done really nicely right there. And that's how you make that good old drop. Wonderful. And second build-up leading into the next drop. So let me give you a rundown of what those are. Alright, so after the drop plays, we get introduced to the same lead as the first off drop, along with a few piano keys. Here's what they sound like. Alright, so we also got a few piano key. We also got some drum samples playing the kick and the hat, but then we get introduced to the one with claps, starting with a crash, as well as the bass line from the drop down below. Here's what that sounds like. If you're wondering what that piano was, it's down here. It introduces a new melody contrasting from lead 1, and we also got the drum sample still playing up here. It's built off of the pad 1 sample, as well as the bass sample we got. Alright, so the piano then plays the piano now plays the same notes as it did in the first build-up, and we also got the pad samples to familiarize the listeners. But something new we added here is the guitar 2 sample, but its volume was slightly lowered from the other sections. Alright, so this build-up is it's extended more than the first one, and and it's evident because the drums are here instead of here. So what we also got down here is the main melody, but we did a little EQ work with it. We've put the high sample, no, we put the high frequencies all the way down, as well as the low ones. So now wait, shoot, I forgot. Let's just lower it down. And now, let's hear how that sounds. We also got the riser down here. Alright, there we go. It's not the most exciting build-up, but I think it really suits the vibe we're going for in this song. Alright, so now we're going to focus on the drop. So the drop's pretty simple. We're mostly just taking samples from the first drop and ending them here. But we have a little fake out here. Like most listeners would be expecting the snare samples to be immediately playing. But what we did here is that we just had the kick samples to fool listeners, sort of. But then we got a snare down here leading up to the introduction of the snares again. So let's just get our samples right here. We start off with this bass. So just a little thing I'm going to do to make it seem more like a fake out. We're going to chop this up and delete it. Alright, so now it goes like this. Also got to make sure it's raised to the same volume as the one in the drop. Which is 5.6. I think 5.5 will do. Alright, the rest of the samples, yeah. Actually, I think more for a fake out. Here's what we're going to do. We're just gonna remove the kick. So first, let's just press S. Apologies, it's kick sample keeps playing. Alright, so now let's I think that's a better fake out. Let's also take out the pad for a sec. Also, give the pad the same treatment as its bass friend did. Alright, we're not going to delete the automation data. And now let's see what else we gotta get. Let's just take a listen to how the drop sounds. Let's just save first. Saving does take a while. Any day now? Any day now, please? Any day now, please. Please. Alright, thank you. Wait. Alright, good. Now, let's have it repeat again. Give ourselves a good listen.